What I'm about to tell you about permanent U.S. entry waivers might surprise you. With so much conflicting information online and very few lawyers discussing this topic, there's a lot of confusion that can cost you time and money. My name is Dan Joffe, dedicated U.S. entry waiver lawyer at NextLaw. I'm going to break down the 4 key parts that will help you understand the real story about permanent U.S. entry waivers and what documentation you actually need. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what people mean when they talk about permanent U.S. entry waivers, what a September letter really means for your border crossing, and most importantly, I'll reveal a crucial truth about permanent U.S. entry waivers that could completely change your approach to stress-free travel to the United States. Part 1, the common misconception. Let me start with what we often see online and hear about. Maybe you've seen posts about getting a permanent waiver. Maybe your friend mentioned having one, or you've read about it in online forums. There's a lot of confusion around this topic, and that's exactly why we need to talk about it. Part 2, what people actually get. When discussions come up about permanent waivers, they're usually referring to one of 2 things. The first is a September letter. The second is a regular U.S. entry waiver that's valid for up to 5 years. Let me explain the difference because this reveals something crucial. A September letter isn't actually a waiver at all. It's a determination by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection that says you don't need a waiver for the specific issues you've disclosed to them. Think of it this way. Rather than giving you permission to enter, it's stating that these particular past issues don't require a waiver for U.S. entry. But, and this is crucial, this only applies to what you've told the Admissibility Review Office about. Any new issues require you to get a waiver. Part 3, the reality check. Here's where we get to the heart of the matter. U.S. entry waivers are always temporary. Always. The longest you can get is 5 years, and some are as short as 6 months. When the term permanent waiver comes up, people might think it's like a permanent resident card, but that's not how it works. And this brings us to the crucial truth about U.S. entry waivers that are referred to as permanent U.S. waivers. Part 4, the one thing you must know. Here it is. The one thing nobody tells you about permanent U.S. entry waivers. These simply don't exist, period. And believing in this concept isn't just a misunderstanding. It could actually jeopardize your ability to enter the United States. Think about what this really means. Your ability to enter the United States is always assessed on a case-by-case basis every time you travel to the United States. Even with a September letter or a valid U.S. entry waiver, new circumstances can change everything. So if you come across information about permanent U.S. entry waivers, you should know that this isn't accurate. What you really need to understand is your specific situation and what documentation actually applies to you. Not a misunderstood concept of a permanent solution, but real valid documentation that will actually allow you to travel to the United States. Now that you understand the truth about permanent U.S. entry waivers, you might be wondering what options are actually available for your situation. Schedule a free confidential call with me to discuss your specific case. The link to book the call is in the description of this video. And if you found this video information helpful, make sure you subscribe to our channel for more accurate information about U.S. entry waivers and border crossing issues.